Okay, so here we are on the main home dashboard of your QuickBooks account. There's a lot of stuff on here, and we'll go through some of it, but we're going to start up here in the gear icon under your company accounts and settings. Make sure that your company settings are configured accordingly for your business. So we'll go through all of these one by one. For your company name, add your logo here by just clicking the button and then uploading from a file on your computer. Company name, legal name. So your legal name is what is used on tax forms like 1099s. If you want your company name to be something different, or you don't want to show, the comma LLC, you can deselect this, leave your legal name as is, and then add your EIN number here, your employee identification number, for taxes and tax purposes. So sometimes you'll run into little technical snags, such as this. Let me refresh the page. It was got a little click happy there. All right. Okay, so we've added a logo, updated the company name, if applicable. Typically, company name and legal name are going to be the same. Company type. So this form is your tax form. This is pulled through from the setup phase when you selected if you were an LLC, a partnership, an S Corp. You can't edit this, and you'll see those other options here. But if you selected your business structure accurately, then it will populate the appropriate form. We've got our industry here, so that's all set. Contact information. You do have the option to change customer-facing email, but you're not going to be accepting payments or invoicing through here, so really not relevant. Add a phone number and a website. And then you've got some address options here if it's different. General company address, customer facing, again, not applicable. Your legal address, if it happens that you do have a different address for your company versus your legal, what's on your forms, you can update that here. But overall, not a big, it's not that important. Usage limits, this is simply telling you what is allowed, the allowable limits are inside your current subscription. So there's only one user. You can have 250 chart accounts, which is definitely way more than enough. And tag groups, we'll skip that for now. It's a bit advanced. QuickBooks Checking. This is to create a QuickBooks Checking account. So assuming you've already have a business bank account set up. This is not necessary. If you go through this process, it will create a bank account for you, give you a debit card, the whole nine. So skip over that. Sales, these are for invoicing and payment processing, and we're not going to do that either. Expenses, bills and expenses. Show tag field. So again, that's an advanced feature. Leave it on. That's totally fine. It's not going to create any confusion. You just won't use that for the time being. It's something you have to set up previously to being able to use it. It's not already set up inside your account. Default bill terms. So this is if you're adding bills, invoices that need to be paid in QuickBooks, what the default due date is. I find most likely this varies from vendor to vendor, so we can leave that blank. Purchase orders aren't applicable, and they don't. They're not a part of the Simple Start subscription, so you'll see that here, but that is fine. Payments, we're also going to skip over this since you won't be collecting customer payments inside of QuickBooks since it's not HIPAA compliant. Under the advanced category, you will see some accounting settings here. What month of the year you'd like to start. This should be January. Same as fiscal year, you want that to be January. Accounting method. Typically, this is going to be cash if you're just starting out, you're a smaller business. Your accountant, CPA, is going to use a cash basis accounting method. And there are reasons for using accrual basis. Typically, it's for bigger clients generating a lot of revenue, but also if you want to start to look at your financial reports and look at the performance of your business, it can be helpful to use accrual basis accounting. Most likely at that point, you'd be wanting to work with someone who can help you walk you through that process. So we're going to turn this to cash for now. And close the books can be quite helpful. It means that you won't be allowed to make changes in your QuickBooks account prior to the date that you put in here. So I find that this is helpful for clients who are doing their own books, particular, to at least do it after your taxes have been filed for the previous year so that you don't inadvertently change something from a prior year that has already been completely reconciled, filed, and no changes should be made. So a little bit of background on that close the books. We can leave it off for now as you're just starting out. Save that. We've talked about the tax form, chart of accounts. We're going to turn on the numbers and we're going to show the account numbers. This will come into play when we import industry standard chart of accounts and go through that setup. So turn those count numbers on, save that. Automations. Let's just turn these off. These don't apply since you're not collecting payments. Pre-fill forms with previously entered content. This is more often than not can cause issues with QuickBooks will pre-fill some fields, the category that you've used for previous expenses, for whatever's been historically entered in the past. But often I find if you're not paying much attention to it, it can quickly change something and then you save it and you're not even really sure that you did that. So it's safer to turn it off. We'll turn all of those automations off, especially for now, since you're just getting used to the software. It's much easier to get a handle on how to do things manually before you start turning automations on. And then that's when things can kind of get out of control sometimes and start to create some messes for you to clean up later, which is never a fun situation to be in. Home currency, US dollar, allow network members to find me, you can leave that on. And then these are some other basic preferences of your date, number, format, and you can change this to patients if you want, clients if you prefer. Warn if a duplicate check number is used, that can be helpful. You'll just get a pop-up on the screen if you're entering checks into your QuickBooks account and you forget to change the check number, whatever reason, QuickBooks will be like, hey, you already used this one. Are you sure you want to use the same number again? And that can prompt you to go back and make sure that you're entering the same check number. Same for bills that you enter, duplicate journal number, entry number. So we'll turn all those on. Those can be helpful, especially because they're just warnings. It's not like QuickBooks automatically doing something and it kind of can go unseen. These are pop-ups that come up on the screen to warn you if you are making any sort of duplications in the system. Sign me out. So if you want this to be longer or shorter, 1 hour is probably the safest bet from a security point. Okay, so we've gone through the gear, icon, company settings, and now we're back on the dashboard. This has got a bunch of widgets, they're called, and these can be customized. This first one you'll see, since it's a brand new account, is a checklist. Let's go ahead and add some more business information just to help QuickBooks learn more about your business. How long your business has been around. Is this your main source of income? Yes. What apps are you using? We're going to skip this to try to get the basics down before we start connecting any apps that you may currently be using. So that was pretty straightforward. That's done. Organize your expenses, link your business accounts, categorize. We're going to do that in another video by getting your bank account feed set up. Get paid, we're not doing that. We're invoicing, we're not doing that. The mobile app can be very helpful if you like to use your phone on the go a lot. You can log in and categorize some expenses that are coming through your bank feeds on your phone. You can also see your reports if your QuickBooks account is up to date. So there's a big caveat there. You don't want to be running running reports if you still have transactions inside your bank feed that haven't been categorized. You want to be looking at the right numbers. So if you do want to do some stuff on your phone, be able to access your QuickBooks account on your phone, this walks you through that tutorial. So most of this stuff we've skipped over for now, and we're going to close out this widget to remove it from our home page. Now you can see some shortcuts here to get you to where you want to go inside of QuickBooks. This can also be customized, where you can remove these for sure. Recording expenses, creating checks, add a banking deposit, those could all be helpful. Creating a bill, paying bills. We'll save that for now. Those will all be relevant for the future. And I'm going to pause this video and we'll go into linking bank accounts and setting up your bank feeds in the next tutorial to keep this one focused in on getting your settings accurate for your business, getting all the data in there that's relevant for your business, and just kind of getting you used to the general layout of QuickBooks. I'll end on looking at some of these categories over here. There's a lot of stuff. It can be overwhelming at first, but know that initially you're really just going to be focusing on your bank transactions and taking a look at your dashboard, and we're going to get into your reporting as well. So it is a lot at first, but you'll get used to it the more that you're working in here. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks.